Hello and welcome back to another episode of Wednesday Night FIFA. So, in the business end of the season, 0-0 draw against Fulham last time out. And now we've got big boy Manchester City, or literally just pre-billionaire Manchester City. So, they are currently in 5th on 50 points. They're looking for European qualification. We are currently 16th. Only a few points above the relegation zone. We're going to have to scrape and claw as many points as we can to try and survive relegation. But until then, we can only see what happens one game at a time. Sticking with the team, it's doing well. Hopefully we can surprise Manchester City. So, without further ado, let's play some football. Alright, here we go. Gonna need all the Derby fans behind us to be able to, conjure up a victory. Let's have a look at it. Like I said, I'm sticking with the same team. I'm happy with how they ball played and everything. So, sticking with it. Man City, on the other hand, I mean, they've got some recognisable names, but let's put it this way. This was not a good Man City team. Obviously not in comparison to what they have now. As you saw, another 0-0 draw. Like I said, you'd be seeing that pretty much all the way through. I mean, I think I went undefeated in terms of draws for so long, besides a defeat so far from what I remember against Everton. But yeah, we're going to have to do our absolute best to try and get victory here, because Man City, like I said, they're pushing for European qualification. So let's put, a nice little, let's just really piss them off. Let's go on, Barnes. Mackin, just running into a brick wall there. Diddy Arman. And I saw at the start of the game that Kasper Schmeichel is the goalkeeper for Manchester City today. I mean, a lot of people seem to forget that after Peter, did a little bit of time at Man City, obviously pissing off the Man United faithful, that he then went ahead, that his son obviously went through their academy and was their number one goalkeeper for a period of time. And then Kasper, he moved around a little bit before finally finding his way at Leicester City and going on to win the Premier League with them. Father-son duo, both Premier League winners. Well done to you both. I mean, I've got all the respect for Kasper, but I've got a lot more love for Peter. But, that's because I grew up with Peter Schmeichel as like an idol for goalkeeping, in my opinion. At that time. Oh, Alano could be through. He's running with it. Oh! Got a bit too cheeky, and Bywater smart there. Closing down the angle. We're back in control, but, that was a very, very squeaky bum time moment. Barnes. If he could have got that bit more into the middle, and that would have been a guaranteed goal. Guarantee it. But yeah, this was literally pre-billionaire Manchester City. I think they got bought out literally by the end of this season and started, a whole new era and everything like that. Oh, ball stolen. Should have done better, Pearson. Should have moved a bit faster, shouldn't ya? I mean, at the moment we're holding them, but, we're looking for a win. That would be nice, as opposed to, going back to our routine of 0-0 draws. Like I went through so long with that. I don't particularly fancy going through it again. Nice block. Garrido. Don't remember him. It's like I remember names, but obviously some just don't stand out. You know what I mean? Oh, nice. Is that corner or no? I mean, you can always be hopeful that it took some kind of ricochet, Right. Mackin. Oh, just fight him off. Yes! Get in! Great strength there by Robbie Earnshaw to get the goal. This could be huge. Could be huge. Let's have a look. I mean, he held off, you know, the defence. I mean, I don't think that's Richard Dunn, but yeah, held him off. Nice and strong, holding it together before popping off a shot past Kasper Schmeichel. Brilliant goal. Brilliant. Exactly what we need. But now the question is this going to fire up Manchester City to be able to make some sort of comeback, or are we going to take advantage of the situation? Oh, Micah Richards was playing for City at this point. You know, I was wondering that in my head. I was like, did he start playing for City before or after the takeover? You know? And I'll be quite frank, I love Micah Richards as a pundit. Not only is he... Whoop! 1 minute. Back in. Not only is he an excellent and insightful pundit, but he's also hilarious. Also, he's feud with... well, not feud. He's on-screen banter with Roy Keane. It's just nothing but pure gold. I love it. Right, we're going to take a short. It looks like we are. Right, cross it. Oh, good defending there from City. Well done. I was hoping more would have popped off a random shot because fuck it, why not? And it would be nice if the ref called for a whistle, but not just yet. Barnes is in. No, that's what was Schmeichel thinking? Oh, Ireland's coming on for Giovanni. We're not even at the halfway mark. Might have been an injury. And there's the half-time whistle. Only Robbie Earnshaw's goal separates us and City. Let's have a look at those stats. I mean, you're not even showing the replay of the goal. Boo. Boo to you. But we've had 3 shots to their 1. They've had more possession. So, fair enough. You know. In terms of the passes, we've been the dominant one. But we've also got the better passing accuracy. So, at the moment, outside of possession, like, we're the better team. But we've got more to play for, so to speak. Right, so, in real life, on match day 32 for Derby County, if I can just quickly work this out. Yeah, on match day 32 in real life, they were at home to Fulham, and it ended in a 2-2 draw with that Villa player scoring 2 goals. And in real life, when they played Manchester City at Pride Park, it ended in a 1-1 draw with Sun Jihai scoring an own goal. So yeah, and that's how that one played out. And I'm going to be quite frank to Derby County fans, and obviously I'm going to remind you of horrible dark times and everything like that. I believe it was after the 2-2 draw that you were actually, first of all, confirmed to be relegated. It's actually the earliest point in history, in terms of date, that a Premier League team has been relegated. They were relegated, if I'm not mistaken, on the 29th of March 2008 after that 2-2 draw against... Derby's relegation was confirmed on 29th of March, the first time a club had been relegated from the division before April. So first there's that, and also this is where dark times also kick in, because I'll be upfront with anyone watching. They didn't win or draw a match for the rest of the season. There was 6 games left, even though they had already been relegated. So they had nothing to play for besides quote-unquote pride, and they didn't exactly do very well with that. Sorry, Derby fans. But yeah, we're 1-0 up. Gonna stick with gonna stick with the team. And yeah, we're gonna keep on trucking. See if we can avoid relegation and change a little bit of history. Again, let's do this. Right, so City have kicked us off for the second half. Let's try and keep that momentum going. Maybe get a second goal. And that would be nice. I mean, it's not exactly very nice when you're seeing them go up, but watching them go back is even better. Who was manager of City at this point? Was it Sven-Göran Eriksson? Oh, Elano's in. Great save by Bywater. Great save. Great save. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Sven-Göran Eriksson, because then after City's final game of the season, I believe it was that 8-1 demolition defeat against Middlesbrough, that they decided to let Sven go, which, oh my, what happened there? Is that another corner? No, it was a goal kick. It went out first. Alright, cool. But yeah, I remember, like, City faithful, they were, you know, a bit annoyed. Oh, Bianchi. You know, they were a bit annoyed that, and looks like we're going to be getting ready to make us up. But yeah, they were annoyed that Sven got sacked, and then, who was it? It was Mark Hughes, the first marquee manager under the Sheikh Mansour era, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, like, imagine that, you know, you've just been bought out, you've got all of the money in the world, and everything like that. You're looking for a top manager. That was not a free kick, but Howard is coming on for Barnes. That is an interesting substitution from the AI. Now, can Howard continue a, you know, goal-scoring run? I mean, look at that angle. Whipped into the middle. Bywater had it covered though. But yeah, imagine you've been bought out, you've got all of the money in the world, you want a huge marquee manager and everything. At the time, could have gone for anyone, you know, and just offered them all of the money in the world. And you get Mark Hughes. I mean, oh well, to be fair, like, it's kind of like when Newcastle got bought out. You know, they got bought out. Everyone's suspecting that they're going to be, you know, hiring someone, you know, new and everything like that. They kept hold of Steve Bruce for way too long. Should have been sacked a long time ago, but they kept him on so he could have his 1,000th match as manager. Not as Newcastle, but just the management in general. I think it was his 1,000th. Anyway, and then after all of the speculation, you get Eddie Howe. Now, the difference between Eddie Howe and Mark Hughes in terms of management is that Eddie Howe's better. Just saying. You know, Mark Hughes, all of the respect, whatever, you've managed multiple teams, you've managed your country and everything like that. You know, legendary player. Go on, Mackin. But Eddie Howe, even just managing, like, who is it? Bournemouth for as long as he did on 2 occasions. Plus, I think it was like Burnley or Watford, one of the two. I think it was Watford. You know, and now Newcastle. Go on! Oh, so close. Was that Howard? That was Howard. Should have scored that, pal. This is why I don't play you. But yeah, you know. Eddie Howe's just a better manager. Simple as. I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, he gets plucked off by a bigger team or for his country. I don't know if he has, as I record this, you know, so obviously I might be very much behind the times. But I'm not going to tell you when about in time I'm actually recording this. Moving on. But we're still 1-0 up, still holding it together. Man City have been quite fierce. So they're through. Ooh, excellent save again. Man City definitely fierce. They're definitely looking for something. Looking to try and snatch that draw. You know? Take it away from me. Take 3 points away. Or 2 in this case if it was the end of the draw. You know? Oh, nicely done there. Yeah, that was never going to happen. As you saw, both teams have had 4 shots apiece. This could be 5 coming up. City out of their way. But this is why I have Darren Moore in the centre of my defence, because he's an absolute unit. But let's just see what happens from this attack. Earnshaw on it. Go on, lad. Time's coming to an end. Howard trying to squeeze through. Doesn't happen. 1 minute of added time. Wake up, player. Who was that? Oakley or Pearson? Dispossessed. Referee has waved play on for what look like a potential handball. Kevley doing what he can to try and stop the counter. You can hear the dart. Ooh, there's the win. 1-0. Robbie Earnshaw. Well done, lad. Come on. So this was Howard's attempt. You know, just wide of the post. I mean, he should have scored. But again, this is why I don't have him starting my matches. This was one save from Bywater. Excellent save that was. But yeah, let's just get to the match facts, shall we? As opposed to just sit here and watch all of the highlights and everything, because I'm pretty sure it's just going to show the same too. Yeah. Anyway, so 4 shots apiece. They had more possession. They had more shots on target, but we're the ones who scored. No. 1 foul, 1 corner, and they had 2. I mean, you could say that City would definitely, in terms of, you know, stats and everything, the better team probably should have scored. But again, football is a weird game. You can have all of the possession, have billions of shots, but it only takes one, you know, lucky, you know, shot to go in, or class goal to go in, or just a goal. You know, I've always said, I don't care how we win, as long as we win. It could be like 8 own goals, and, you know, if we win, great. If we don't, well. Right, anyway, so what does this do for the Premier League table? So after that round of matches, Middlesbrough still top of the table, but they've got a game in hand on Newcastle United, so they could extend their lead ahead of Newcastle to 3 points. But Manchester United also have a game in hand on Newcastle, so they could close it off, but they also need Middlesbrough to lose to be able to close off that gap to 1 point, because as you can see, Middlesbrough and Newcastle are 56, Man United is on 52. Bolton and Manchester City are currently 4th and 5th on 50 points. Arsenal 6th on 49. Tottenham 7th on 46. Reading are 8th on 45, with Portsmouth and Blackburn 9th and 10th respectively on 44 points, along with Everton, who are currently 11th. Birmingham City, nice and comfortable, in 12th on 43 points. Fulham 13th on 41, Aston Villa and Wigan Athletic currently on 40 points in 14th and 15th respectively. We are still in 16th place, which is good. We are on 39 points, which is even better, you know. So we've got a 3-point gap over Sunderland in 17th on 36 points, and we've got a 4-point gap of the relegation zone with Liverpool in 18th on 35 points. West Ham still occupy 19th on 33 points. Chelsea still rock bottom on 26 points, still 10 points adrift, 6 games to go. So like I said, they could be relegated within the next 3 matches. And our next match is a trip to White Hart Lane and Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham currently 7th on 46 points. We are looking to, you know, again, keep building a bit of, you know, a gap between us and the relegation zone. Hopefully, with a terrible run of games incoming, we're not going to suffer defeat after defeat after defeat, with giving Sunderland or Liverpool the opportunity to gain points and then overtake us. Obviously, we want to be able to get as many points as humanly possible, but we shall see. And that, my friends, brings me to the end of this week's Wednesday night FIFA. So, as always, if you've enjoyed yourself, give this a like. Share the video as well, because the more shares, the more views, the more that the channel continues to grow, and the more that I get to do this for you. Subscribe to World Minus One Entertainment if this is your first time on the channel. Don't forget to check out all of the other content that's currently available, because you never know, there might be something that you like. And if you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so you are notified about any and all content that goes live onto the channel. Drop us a comment below. You know, we're in the business end of the season. What are your predictions going to be? And I'm not just talking for the next match, but I'm talking about, are we going to get relegated? Where will we finish? What's going to happen? Drop me a comment below. Right, so thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Wednesday Night FIFA, and I will see you next time for some more FIFA football action. Take it easy, everyone.